Hello and welcome everybody tuning in. We're going to be talking about the extremely hectic week we've had for gaming.
And to continue our theme of pricing, today we'll discuss the complex maze of subscriptions that we must all traverse in today's film and TV market. My name is Pina.
My name is Fricka.
And you're watching Screenside.
It really does truly feel like we're in Armageddon right now for gaming. And it is ridiculous the amount of stuff that has happened in the last week. Just nothing but bad news. And I'm gonna go through all the topics now, just list them off real quick. we're gonna try to go in depth with each of them. We might not have the time, but as a short list, we have the Steam Machine price getting revealed. $1,050 for the base price. $1,428 for the highest tier.
Which is
We have Xbox. Yeah,
which is
it's
so
it's
high.
ridiculous.
It is so high. It is ridiculous. I've heard people say this basically. This is the price of a gaming PC. I just don't know what the point is.
And we have Xbox going full firing squad mode on all of its studios, as all of the studios are trying to bargain for their lives, trying to just stay alive as they're threatening to basically shut them all down. Then we have the big one yesterday, GTA 6 revealed as an $80 release and a code in a box.
Ugh, it is a horrible thing that they are doing. I cannot believe that. But yeah, continue.
And then, although this is kind of odd duck, we have yesterday Deltarune Chapter 5 released, which, while not quite bad news, it's good news. Myself and many others were kind of disappointed with the chapter. It's not a bad chapter, but we do have some disappointments with it that we're going to go over soon. And just today, this is already a jam-packed list, but today, literally like 2 hours ago, Xbox announced that they're increasing the price for their Series X up to $800. That is insanity. I thought the recent increase to $650 was already like, we're done. This is kind of like the height we're gonna go. The brand prices aren't. No, we're not done. It's still going. We're still going up.
Yeah, and I mean for Xbox, I mean all goddamn respect for Xbox, but for $800 again. You can start buying PCs for that price that, run games. I have a laptop that runs, pretty good games. That cost me £400. Even when prices were up, this was in November. For $800, who the hell are you selling a console to?
Yeah, I think games wise we're not doing too bad, but when it comes to just business strategy, the state of the industry and state of technology and the pricing of it all, I don't think gaming has been in a worse shape for over 40 years. It has never been this bad.
No,
it is.
It has absolutely never been this bad. It is a ridiculous notion.
I've never been a believer in the idea that we're about to see another video game crash. I don't think that's possible. The only reason there was a video game crash all the way back then is because gaming was relatively a very small industry, and so it was very easily prone to such a crash. When gaming is now the biggest industry in the entertainment industry as a whole, it's basically really hard to take down at a significant level. But I have said that if GTA 6 does end up being a flop, or these sort of practices do continue on, we may see something, not quite a crash, but something significant enough to see a massive shake-up in the way our industry functions.
And I mean, it would be great. I think for the first moments it would be bad because this big project just failed, but. And people think it's a sure thing, and I've been arguing all day with some people. I don't think this GTA 6 release is a sure thing at all. I'm starting to see cracks in it, right? I mean, it's a code in a box.
Right. Just strategies. We'll go into GTA 6 later. We'll talk about it later. That's sort of big boy of this episode. But we're gonna start with sort of the softball, which, ironically, in any other episode of the show, would not be a softball. Deltarune Chapter 5.
Yeah.
What did you think about it? No spoilers. We're not going to spoil it. It's only been a day, but
yeah.
Your thoughts generally.
Without spoiling the game. I mean, I boiled down this to you earlier, 2 hours ago or so, after I finished the game and sort of ruminated on it. And I think I can boil it down to one sentence, which I told you exactly, which is, it's a great steak, but no seasoning. It just has no seasoning. Great piece of meat in there, but, just no pepper to make it exciting. You know what I mean? It is more Deltarune. It is exactly what we expect of Deltarune, and at this point, I don't know if that's enough. I mean, the stakes in the story are so damn high, and suddenly we have this sort of chiller episode, which I think, if this game was released in full, wouldn't be positioned here, because it really does sort of mess with the pacing of the game, I would say. And then there was just some big disappointments of things that were being built up by the game, and I felt just weren't like paid off enough. And that happened this chapter. I mean, namely your main concern. And I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but you know, the festival happens, and it's really not that big of a deal. And they talk about that constantly throughout the other chapters, right? So really, great steak, but no seasoning.
Yeah, no, I think I wrote a review of the chapter on Backlog shortly after I beat it, and just to put my thoughts succinctly in a very simple way, how I put it was, if Deltarune were a Saturday morning cartoon where dark worlds open up and a trio of heroes go on a goofy fun adventure, then Chapter 5 would easily be the strongest one so far in the game. But the issue with that is, while Deltarune Chapter 5, I think gameplay wise and in sort of the charms of the writing is extremely strong, especially gameplay wise. I think it's the best gameplay out of all of the chapters. It's not even close.
Definitely. I mean, it is not just the best gameplay, it is a fresh gameplay, actually. I mean, we've been seeing the same thing, the bullet hell sort of aspect of it, and there is a little extra in this game, which I'm not going to spoil for you what it is, so you find out for yourself. There's a little extra in there that is quite refreshing and really does shake things up, and it's the most fun you have. And I agree with that. I mean, I told you earlier today, which I was giving you my thoughts generally. I said this guy, I think actually it was yesterday where I was pissed off at the game, which didn't help, but but I was saying, man, this Toby Fox guy, as soon as the little fucking ghoul shows up, right? I was like, man, this guy's been making a villain of the week show, except instead of it being every week, it's every 5 years, which is like, could be all right, but it's a bit disappointing at times. And with this one, I also just think the story they tell and what I thought was going to be the main character and what they sort of build up the main character to be, right, wasn't very exciting at all. I thought it was sort of mishandled. And another thing, I'm sort of getting too much time here maybe for you, but it's dawned on me that Toby Fox has never written a long narrative. I don't know if that's dawned on you, right? He's written small games, short games. The hacks that he made for Earthbound were very short, and obviously Undertale is a very short video game, which plays to its strength because it has the exact time it needs. And I'm starting to think, and I'm starting to fear, he might, and excuse the language, he might poop the bed with these two last chapters, because I remember finishing chapter 4 and thinking, wow, we have so much to tie up in 3 chapters. I hope he's able to do it. And then here comes this chapter, and it doesn't really tie anything down, and it sort of worries me. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not fanatical about, like, you know, theory crafting or going sort of in depth in the lore. I'm not too invested in it, but I still had a feeling like it was a bit disappointing. I do have confidence that he will be able to wrap it up in 2 chapters. But I think when it comes to how the story is going to end, this is sort of getting out of the whole realm of chapter 5. I think, and we discussed this earlier, he said from the beginning that Deltarune is going to have just one ending. How is that possible anymore?
Yeah,
I don't believe.
That's a great point you're making. I don't want to interrupt, but we do seem to have a caller on wait. If you want to bring them in.
Oh yeah. Let me do that. Welcome into the call, Dinko.
Dinko, welcome into the call. Hello, Dinko.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you have anything to say on this, Dinko? Is there anything?
I have never played a single Deltarune game in my life.
All right. Cool. Anything you want to say aside from Deltarune then?
What kind of instruments y'all playing?
Um, I believe, Fricka plays the flute, right? Or like the recorder.
No.
The
Yeah,
recording.
No.
The guitar. I remember
No.
something about the guitar.
I play the guitar.
Yeah, the guitar.
the flute.
Yeah, I play the
Oh, well.
trombone and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
piano. What about you, Denko? What instrument do you play?
I play the flute.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What kind of music do you play on the flute?
Mainly classical stuff, you know.
No, that's pretty cool. Would you consider playing Deltarune music on the flute?
No, isn't that kind of gay? Like isn't it a bit of a sissy game?
I don't really know if it's a sissy game. I mean, it could be a sissy game. I don't think it is. I mean, there's
Be
I mean, there's lesbian. Is sissy offensive?
lesbians.
Yeah, there's lesbians. I'm starting to get really worried what you might say next.
I have the chord. I can
No,
pull
I'm
the feet.
liberal.
All right.
Oh, I'm glad you. I am glad. Do you also have black friends?
Yeah. Could you clarify that?
No, I vote Green Party.
You vote Green Party. All right.
I'm glad. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dingo, for your opinions on.
Dinko, sorry, Dinko.
Oh,
If you're gonna say
sorry.
it right, you know.
Sorry. I thought. Yeah, I got. The animal and
Oh,
whatnot.
by the way, yeah, I have some questions. You think it's like weird, like following someone home?
Yeah. Okay.
I've taken it out. I've taken it out.
Yeah. All right. I don't. All right. Okay. I don't really know.
All right.
I don't really know. Please go.
On the topic of Deltarune, chapter 5. Every single chapter has had its own distinct identity and theming, and it's been strong with all of the chapters. I feel like chapter 5 is the first chapter where Toby has run out of ideas, because it goes for a whole flower like shop theming, right?
Yeah.
But it becomes at a point just place Japan, even
No.
though the shop has no Japanese theming. It is mostly just Japanese.
Yeah, it's just placed Japan. I mean, I really like the other like kingdom. I guess they're not necessarily kingdoms. I really like the other places and the other chapters. They're all really creative, and they all use their respective themings really creatively. And Toby Fox decided, but I really like Japan. And that's really, I think that was his, like that. I just like Japan. And there's a consequence to that, unfortunately, is that every song sounds really Japanese, which isn't necessarily bad, but I felt for it the most forgettable soundtrack yet on Delta.
I'm not going to name the specific area, but you know the final area. Well, not the final. The second final area in chapter 5, and it's the big place and the music. You know the music I'm talking about, right? The area theme.
Yeah.
And it's just the most Japanese music ever. Like, I guess flowers maybe. Oh no, flowers are inherently Japanese.
They're
what?
No,
they're not inherently Japanese.
Yeah, it's not even like, Israel got a cherry tree and there's cherry blossom. No, they don't even do that. It's just Japanese for no reason whatsoever, and it's a bit upsetting. It's such a boring like theme to it. I like, it's so boring, and there's like, it's just so boring. I'm not gonna say anything else, or I might spoil something, which I really don't want to do.
It's such a shame, because it's such a fun chapter to play and such a fun chapter to explore, that is unfortunately sort of held down, but not so much like significant like facial flaws, but these little things that you start to notice that just kind of bring it down enough where it feels, like this is kind of just disappointing, or at least not on par in some elements as other chapters.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I guess that's sort of I'm just worried. I think I'm just worried for what's going to happen in the next 2 chapters, and also I was just sort of, I don't know, this one, it felt weird. The flower characters are really good, but they're not really introduced very well. I felt it all felt a bit weird at times, especially because the two first flowers that are introduced is a bit bizarre, but I don't know. It just everything was a bit off to me, and that might be a me problem, but I don't know. Everything was a bit off. I felt, but it was still a nice, enjoyable game. It's Deltarune. It's an enjoyable game. The secret boss though, I hated it. I hated everything about it. I hated the song, the design, the gameplay. I just did not enjoy it.
Can't really say much about why you hate it without spoiling it. So we'll not get into that. We'll move on from Deltarune.
Sorry, there's
final thought.
No. There's a member of the audience. Yeah, the call-ins are about to close now, actually. But Dinko, you were already on the call. For our next topic, you can come in again. Maybe I don't know. But yeah,
we can bring them in before we move on to the. But I'm not entirely keen, but. We'll see. We'll see what they have to say.
Yeah, that last question was weird. Yeah, please move on.
All right. Welcome to the call again, Dinka.
All right.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm watching the game.
You're watching the game.
What game?
What game? I think I know which
Germany,
game.
Ecuador.
Ecuador. What's
Germany, Ecuador.
Yeah, Ecuador's winning, right?
Dumbass. It's tied.
Oh, it's tied.
1-1.
Thank you. You have a
1-1, 60 minutes.
Oh, 1-1, 60 minutes. All right. That's for Germany. That's a bit peculiar, isn't it?
Ain't that right?
We have a second caller trying to chime in.
All right.
One moment.
Yeah, get it.
Welcome in, Games McGamesley.
Yeah, I'll just fuck right out.
There was an unfortunate instance at my birth that this is my name, but I actually don't play video games. But I feel like you're missing out on some important news by not talking about the fact that Oliver Tree died in a helicopter crash.
Who?
All right, important news. Important news.
Who is that? Who did you say?
R.I.P.
Oliver Tree, come on now, he's a cultural touchdown.
Wasn't it like I feel like there's a I feel like there's a more famous helicopter death. Is that him?
Yeah,
I can't bear that song. You're gone. You're gone, Dinka. I hate that song so much.
But
Oliver Tree was a very annoying individual, and I cannot condone the death of individuals.
I'm glad that you put those sentences right beside each other.
Wait, you can't condone it, but what does?
He's a very annoying individual, and I can't condone the death of individuals. The party on the helicopter, though. Perhaps, you know, when you're talking about numerous people, can we get into that?
What do you mean? I just think there's if you're gonna talk about a helicopter deaths on the show, I mean, didn't Kobe drop? I feel like Kobe was a bit more of an icon, and he died in a helicopter. If that's gonna be
a helicopter crash this week?
No. Oh, was it this week?
Yes.
Oh, that's.
I did not feel like this week. I felt like last week. I think 2 weeks ago.
No, it's this week.
I don't know. Helicopters, they're not safe. Don't go in a helicopter. Don't do that. You're going to die.
Is that a...
Have you ever been on a propeller plane?
A propeller plane? No, I can't say I've been on a propeller plane.
There's, at the top of Ireland, the very tippity top.
Yeah?
There's an airport that only does propeller planes. And it only goes to Dublin.
And did you go on the plane?
Fuck no, that'd be a fucking waste of money, wouldn't it?
Alright, I think that's enough of the call-ins for now. Thank you for joining us. You're not Dinko, that call-in thing was wrong.
Games McGamesley. Yeah. Thank you for calling in. Alright, we'll move on to the next topic. The increasing price of consoles. Initially this was just going to be about the Steam Machine, but now that the Xbox console has increased in price, this is turn into a much broader discussion. It doesn't have much nuance, unfortunately. It is essentially AI is bad and AI has increased the price of consumer goods. And it is the reason why Steam Machine is $1,050 and it is the reason why Xbox is now $800. It is mental. It is mental, to say the least.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. I mean, it's a ridiculous ridiculous notion. Oh my lord, how can this be? Consoles at $800? What are we, in the 70s again? Like, am I buying a Pong machine? Who is doing this? It is ridiculous. It is actually awful that they do this. It's not their fault. It's AI's fault. They're just making everything more expensive. But I mean, what is there even to say about it? It's ridiculous. Poor Xbox was trying to redo, their whole company and like marketing, and now they gotta have to deal with this. I guess not poor Xbox. It's the company. I don't give a damn really, but you know what I mean.
I will say with Xbox, I've sort of, I mean, I grew up with the Xbox ecosystem with the 360 and the Xbox One. These were the consoles that I grew up with. I did not grow up with a PlayStation. Let me be clear about that.
Which is very opposite to me. Where in this country, I don't think I've ever seen an Xbox 360 in my life. I don't think anyone owns one here. I saw an Xbox One once. That was rather exciting. And then I realized that it needed internet to work to do anything. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sucks.
No, yeah, PlayStation has had a monopoly on basically the whole of Europe for a very, very long time. They used to have a monopoly on Japan too, but that sort of ended when they shifted their focus to more American stuff, and now Nintendo is the one with the monopoly in Japan. So Xbox for a long time has sort of been the underdog when it comes to the console space, and they got very close with the 360. They dominated America, but they didn't do great in Japan and Europe, which held them back from selling as good as the PS3. And I haven't been part of that ecosystem in quite a while, but I recently, after their pretty good showcase earlier this month, I decided to resubscribe to Game Pass, and I played some of the games. I played Forza Horizon for the first time. I played stuff like Doom the Dark Ages and other sort of smaller games like Ninja Gaiden that I never played before, but I was able to access through Game Pass, all for £1. And that is... I'm pretty sure I calculated it. I'm pretty sure from that £1, I managed to get out a value of, I believe, over £350. So it is a very good deal. For 14 days, £1, I managed to play enough games to get that amount of value.
It's a good deal if you're unemployed.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So it's been very helpful for Xbox. I liked Game Pass. I enjoyed it. But sort of the mask has sort of come off recently. Where all of a sudden, like for a while now, the new CEO, Asher Sharma, was sort of trying to build, kind of like a parasocial relationship with the fans. And so sort of like, we're giving back to the fans. We're going to bring back old Xbox. We're going to bring it back to its glory. And now all of a sudden it's just like, bang. They've changed their attitude completely. We got a bunch of stuff in the news about Asher Sharma sending like a letter to all the studios saying, we're going to clean house. We're going to get rid of... And almost no comment publicly from her. Like, she used to be very proactive on Twitter, making comments and being engaged with the community. All of that, boom, done, gone. Now she's sort of locked in on improving the economic state of the studios, and she made recently a comment saying that it has become unsustainable for gamers to afford consoles.
Yeah.
The day after increases the price of the Xbox console. So I don't know what is going on. Of course, it's not her fault entirely, but it is clear that there is something funky going on in Xbox right now. I'm not sure what, but I did have an impression for a little bit that it was not quite a fully truthful facade she was putting on.
Yeah, it's starting to sound like it's do you think, because what would she say this if she knew that a price increase is coming? This is when we got to exercise our our little intelligence here. It almost sounds like I mean, she's the president, right? She's not in control. She's usually the president of these companies aren't the ones in control. They're the ones, obeying the shareholders. Really.
Well, in this case, they're obeying the CEO of Microsoft.
Yeah, that's true, and especially in Xbox's case, which is even more complicated because they're one of, I believe, what is it, 4 companies or 5 companies that fall under the the Microsoft umbrella, which has obligations to its parent company, Microsoft, which is a really complicated thing. And really, I mean, poor lady can't really do anything if the higher ups at Microsoft tell her to do something. And it feels bizarre to me that this is what she would do. Yeah, I feel like she didn't know that those prices increases were coming, which is even more revealing of the hierarchy and the systems that are going on at that company, which are absolutely beyond mangled, it seems, which have been for a while from my understanding. I really don't know as much as I should about that one, but that's the feeling I get every time I see them on the news and whatnot.
Yeah, when she was first instated, it felt like a weird fit because she didn't have any experience, not just in the games industry, just with games in general. She had a lot to learn and a lot to catch up with, and she proved a lot of people wrong. She did. I'm saying this like this is the end of her tenure. This is going to be like the end, but it does feel like a shift is happening. It is probable that it is not entirely her fault, and sort of a switch has happened in Microsoft internally, and now she's being sort of whipped into shape to be much harder and cruel in her decision making. So that could be potentially what is happening.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think it could be that. I just think she was caught off guard too.
And then in the case of Valve, you already know, I have a pretty mixed opinion on Valve. A lot of people have a very positive impression with Valve because Steam is the most user-friendly platform for buying games out of all of them. It's not even a debate. It's not just in user-friendly, but in how easy it is to use.
Although famously, it is one of the less developer-friendly platforms. I believe they famously, especially for indie developers, it's really difficult to get your money back and your money's worth on Steam. And I think if your game makes $1 million on Steam, they have some sort of clause where they keep a lot of that money. As I believe it's kind of difficult for those indie developers. But yeah, keep going.
And the thing I've sort of held against Valve, number one, their big thing on introducing loot boxes and gambling, but that's a whole can of worms on itself. I think that whole thing should be thrown out. I don't know why it still exists under the current framework of Valve and how the industry is working. But the other big thing is starting with this. Well, they did a Steam machine before, and that didn't quite work out. But starting with the Steam Deck, they've sort of started a new initiative to start releasing a lot more pieces of hardware. And I bought the Steam Deck around the time of launch when you had to be in a queue to sort of back order it because there was some supply constraints. And when I got the Steam Deck, I was very happy with it because I didn't have a computer that ran games very well. And it was a pretty cheap alternative compared to getting a new PC to run the games that were already on my Steam library. And I had a pretty fun time. But then I got a PC that could actually run video games.
When
that happened...
Which actually, before you continue, I feel is worth mentioning. You actually did have a PC that could run the games.
Oh, right. Oh.
You just didn't have... what was it? You didn't have, like, the graphics card activated? It was running everything through your...
Yeah.
your RAM.
It was running through Eternal for 7 years. I think, like... It was an embarrassing moment for me. But anyways, when I got a PC that could actually run games, and it's the same PC I've had to this day, very powerful PC, not super powerful, but powerful. Ever since I got that, barely used the Steam Deck. There's been some circumstances that I've used that sort of were playing some emulated games. It's great for emulation. It's great for indie games. It's not good for playing modern releases or really anything that is quite demanding. And so it's sort of gone out of use. And that brings the concern in the case of the Steam Machine, which sort of, in my case, if the Steam Machine released when I didn't have a good PC, it would have been something appealing because I wanted a cheaper alternative and a simpler alternative to getting a normal PC. Because getting into PC gaming, I think unfortunately is quite hard to get into in some senses. And
Yeah, but
with the Steam,
although I would say it is, I mean, for the price that they're selling at the Steam machine, it is doable.
now at this current price and in this current industry, it doesn't quite work. There have been some posted examples of people building PCs or finding pre-builts at the same price of a Steam machine or less, for better specs. So there remains the argument that the Steam machine is not the best method to get into PC gaming in a very, very simple way, especially because it has a Linux-based OS, which isn't compatible with every game that's going to be on your Steam library, or it won't be compatible with Epic Games Launcher or some Xbox games because these are Windows-based.
Yeah, no, obviously, that is a big problem, which wouldn't happen if you have a Windows computer.
My concern. Well, it's not quite a concern. It is a fact that the reason the Steam machine is so expensive, other than AI, is because they don't have an intention to make this a loss leader, to cut the price to a point where they're making a loss. Even though Valve is making a lot of money, there's no reason to make a piece of hardware that makes a loss, because we have Switch 2, we have Xbox, we have PlayStation. These consoles are designed price-wise to make a loss when you purchase them, because then they make the returns on you buying and spending money on their ecosystem, because those consoles are the only way to get inside their ecosystem.
Yeah.
With Steam, you can get any computer, you can get a laptop, you can even stream stuff through your mobile phone. It is not hard to get into the Steam ecosystem, and you do not need a Steam machine or a Steam Deck or a Steam frame to get into the Steam ecosystem. So it doesn't make sense for them to price it at a cost that costs them, because it
So then why
because,
we gotta ask the question, why are they doing this? Why is this what we're getting?
I think it's just bad timing. I think when it was being planned in around like 2022, when they were going to make this, it made sense then, when the price of components weren't doing bad, and it would have been much more affordable and much more appealing as an option. But it's just they don't really have a choice here. It's all been developed. They already have the contract signed. They have to go through with it. It is a sort of devil on their shoulder that they have to live with.
And yeah, I guess. I mean, I wasn't entirely sure that it was being developed for that long. It's just such a weird thing. It just feels so expensive and feels so obsolete already. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's the first console I see on release where I'm like, but why? What is the point of this? Like, who actually cares? And I don't know if that's just me or if that's like a thing that people agree with mostly.
I think it has some cool elements, but it's not the greatest thing in the world right now. We're gonna move on from this Steam machine, and we're gonna talk about the big boy now. I have some very interesting opinions of GTA. Have you played GTA before?
I have played, like every good teenage boy at the time with a PlayStation, access to a PlayStation. I played a bunch of Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah. I believe I played a bit of 4 at my neighbor's house, and I remember enjoying, I think you could become a police officer in like the free roam mode, and I enjoyed that because you could eat donuts or something. I don't know, I was 9, that's the thing I remember. And you know how in games you always want to do exactly what the developers don't want you to do, right? And that felt like, oh my god, I can do like the opposite. Wow, that's so cool. But yeah, I played that game, and it was mostly for the online, and you're playing with your friends, and the story's fine, it's good, but it's really not a very fun game to play single player nowadays. It's a bit dated, a bit old. I think you would agree with me.
And now we are getting a new entry, and I believe there was something you wanted to go over on the topic of GTA 6 and the way it is being handled in its marketing.
Yes, on the topic of GTA 6. In the late 1800s, Standard Oil, as led by John D. Rockefeller, was the biggest monopoly in American history as it controlled the oil industry. Rockefeller achieved, as reported by Ida Tarbell in her famous expose of the man, by getting a hold of the cheap transportation routes by assuring them that he would ship 60 carloads of oily Dale, which none of his competitors could do. He achieved this. This way, train companies offered him essentially a 70% discount in its distribution of oil, allowing Standard Oil, by illicitly colluding with local railway systems, to sell oil as cheap as possible in a way that would bankrupt his competitors, then buying them up. This is what Rockstar is doing. This is what Rockstar and Sony are doing. It's collusion. It is absolute collusion. It is a monopoly through and through, is it not, Fricky? I mean, you're the one who really has the bigger opinion on this.
All right. I've already said from ages ago that Sony, out of the three big players in the console market, is the most corrupt of them all. Just on a surface level, let's on a surface level of how corrupt they are. Let's talk about how pricing is handled in my region, the UK. Okay, so pricing wise, we've got games that cost $70 now, right? Okay, sure, that's part of life now. In the UK, we have a different currency to dollars. We have pounds, and pounds is worth more than dollars. So something that is worth $70 is worth about, let's say, £60. If you go on the PlayStation Store right now, any game that is listed for $70 is listed in our region for £70, and this is the fault of Sony, and this is the fault of PlayStation. Now, to give Rockstar some credit, the $80 GTA 6 is £70 in our region, but when GTA 6 was sort of starting to roll out the advertising yesterday, there was a advertising rollout that began that was GTA 6 plays best on PS5. Why? Because it has haptic feedback on the controllers. That's it. That's all it is. And do you know what Sony's doing? They rebranded their little mobile app for PlayStation to have GTA 6 theming. When you boot up your PS5, immediately you're hit with a GTA 6 ad. I hope you know, for none of their first party games have they ever done this on the PS5. Never have they done this.
No, I mean,
where you boot up your PS5 and you're given an advertisement for one of their own games. GTA 6 is not a PlayStation game. They have no marketing deal together. So why are they doing a partnership together?
And not just that.
Seemingly.
And not just that. I mean, you got to think about the fact that it's not like GTA is exclusive to.
It's not an exclusive. It's also an Xbox.
It's coming to PC. It's coming to Xbox, but it's coming 2 months or 3 late? Did they even say how late it's gonna come? This should be illegal. This is colluding. This is creating false scarcity to make it so people buy the PS5. It is no other thing. Do not be tricked by this. It is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. It is absolutely disgusting. I mean, companies are usually disgusting already. Sony might be the most disgusting of them all with this. I mean, these guys made the Emoji Movie. They're pure evil. They're pure absolute evil.
The PS5 generation has been completely a disappointment. Not just a disappointment. It's been shocking. It's been horror generation. And when I feel like this whole generation, they've been like, we don't really need to do the first party output that much. Why? Because we have GTA 6 to look forward in the horizon, and because they've been in a better position than Xbox, because Xbox is sort of getting their hands and legs being slowly sawn off by a chainsaw. There isn't much competition, and especially now that they have a partnership going where they're basically trying to push it as GTA 6 being, if you want to play GTA 6, go buy a PS5, even though that isn't the only option to play this game. And it feels like a coordinated effort to create a big boost in sales to the PS5 for a console that, in my opinion, should not deserve it, because this has been a shocking console.
Yeah, and before we bring the callers in, or the caller, which is still Denko, I believe, which I believe is going to start being a pest here on the channel.
Oh, joy.
Before we bring that, I'm starting to think that the people at Rockstar, the executives, are just doing inside trading at this point, because the only thing that happens by PlayStation having an earlier release than other consoles is that the Sony stock is going to skyrocket if this is the success we're all hoping to be. And I'm starting to think, is there insider trading going on? This sounds so illicit and scummy and illegal. I mean, what other reason? Literally, what other reason? If you have the game working for the PlayStation, you have the game working for the Xbox. The only thing you need to do is change the UI buttons, as far as I'm aware. There's no words to express this. It is the scum of the earth doing this release. I mean, it's like, I don't know, the devil was nicer to Faust than Rockstar is being to the general populace. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's so baffling, because even with the most recent Xbox price increases, where Series S is now $500, to play GTA 6, the cheapest way to play GTA 6 is to buy an Xbox Series S, and nobody's talking about this. That is one of the most baffling things about this all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you want to bring the caller in?
Sure. All right. Welcome in again, Denko.
You really have nothing to do today, don't you? All right. Well, what's up, Denko? What is it?
Is there a topic I'm supposed to talk about?
Yeah, that's
GTA 6.
Yeah, GTA 6.
No, I've never played a game from them.
And you've never played a Grand Theft Auto
What games
game?
have you played?
Let me tell you what I play. I play Candy Crush
Okay.
and you know those puzzle games on the LinkedIn app?
Yeah, I know the LinkedIn.
Yeah,
what?
Games.
Yeah.
What?
So you never-
That is my shit. That is my shit.
Yeah, you do. Which one do you do?
All of them.
All of them?
Tango is my favorite.
Yeah, I don't really go on them that much. Frank, you've never heard of the LinkedIn puzzles?
Come on.
Well, I've never had to use LinkedIn.
Yeah, but you know, maybe you.
Unemployed much?
Well, yeah. What about you, Dinko?
I work.
I'm sorry to hear, Dinko. Would you be willing to pay $80 for a code in a box that gives you a game?
Let me think about it.
You can think, but this is an entertainment show, so I'm gonna keep talking until you think about it. I mean, really, I get, like, you know. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, you know. It's an entertainment show. You gotta be entertaining, Dinko.
I gotta be entertaining? Isn't that your guys' job?
No. We have the call-ins, so we can pass that. So we can pass that on to you guys.
Yeah, nice. Well, a whole lot of responsibility you got just passing it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't buy a Rockstar game for $80.
No, even though it's a code in a box, that doesn't. What about for $100, like they're selling with the disc?
Is it pay to win?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's
I-
accurate.
Well,
I think about it.
Well, you'd think about it if it's pay to win.
Yeah, I think about it. I've wasted that much money on Candy Crush.
So
to be
hold
honest.
on. If it's $80,
You waste money on Candy Crush. How do you waste money on Candy Crush? How do you do that?
You got a problem with that? It's my game. It's my life.
I understand that, but it was a question of how. It wasn't a question like genuinely how. There's like, what do you do to spend money on Candy Crush?
Well, the levels are too hard, and I'm kind of stupid.
Too hard?
They're too hard. It's Candy Crush. Can you not look up?
These are mindless puzzles.
Could you not?
I'm on level 1,500, I think.
1,000.
Can you post a screenshot of this? I don't quite believe this.
Can you stream it on
I
can you stream it right now?
share you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Could you not look up a guide on YouTube for the? Hold on. Let me look into this. Are you on your phone right now?
Yeah.
You don't have no computer.
Damn, I got 11 hours this week. Unemployed much?
Hold on. Let me stream this here for everyone. Oh wow, it's a bit weird looking. Wow, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dinko's gameplay. Let's see how good you are at this.
Oh, I'm good, all right.
All right, yeah. Let's see what the problem is then. I just don't understand how you got to do the daily. This doesn't have your name in it, right?
No, this is my name.
Okay, Dinko. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a picture of John Lennon licking Paul McCartney's feet.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Oh my god, he is.
He
level
is.
1,699.
How long have
you?
Why have you been playing this for this long?
Sorry, just 1 second.
Yeah. Sorry.
This is meant to be hard.
Hold on. What's the gimmick in this level?
Oh, you gotta take out the Jello.
Is that not the?
It's just like Panel de Pon.
Just like Panel de Pon. And while we watch this, tell me, have you never played a game in a console? Never owned a console, Dinko?
I had a PS2.
A PS2.
Yeah, I played those monkey games on it.
Like what? Like Buzz? Like the Buzz?
Yeah,
one with
Buzz.
the monkeys.
Yeah, Buzz.
Yeah. Like this is very revealing about who you are as a person.
Thank you.
That was
sorry, wait.
Oh, no worries. I mean,
wait.
Oh, a little spin the wheel thing. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, Fricko, what else would you have to say about it, all of this, about Rockstar and this price?
Oh my god, he's spending money. He's spending money.
He's spending
Hey, it's
money.
hard.
What how much did you just spend?
Use Apple Pay. I just saw that.
How much did you spend
shit.
on that? How much was that? I wasn't looking. I was
€4. He said €4. Hold on, I'm gonna drag in the other. We have another caller. Welcome to the call. I love Gabe. To the call.
Oh, I love Gabe.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Who, Gabe?
Yeah. He's got like.
Why do you love him so much?
He's got a boat.
Oh, I
love boats.
Oh, cool! I'm in level 1,700.
He does have a boat. He does have many. He does have multiple boats.
Yeah, he has multiple boats. But why? So what? Are you here to talk about the Steam machine? Is that what you do?
I can't wait to play GTA 6 on my Steam machine.
What?
I don't think that's coming there at launch.
No, it's not. We just talked about this. In fact, if you were paying attention.
But I love Gabe.
I love Gabe.
You love Gabe, but do you know who Gabe is?
He's got a boat.
Also, congratulations on beating that level. But
thank you so much.
Dinko, do you know who Gabe is?
Isn't he like a musical producer?
No, it's Gabe Newell from Valve.
Oh, that sucks.
Why does that suck?
Oh, yeah, why does that suck?
I mean,
oh my god, he's going crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of good. I'm kind of good.
Yeah, kind of good.
I've not seen this game before. Is it on Steam?
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't know that that's true at all. I just don't think that's true. This is a mobile game. Why would it be on Steam?
Do you play it?
I can confirm it's not on Steam.
Thank you. I love Gabe. So
what a shame. What a shame.
Yeah. I think
That would have been an instant purchase because I love Gabe.
So do you own I'm curious about what that means. Do you own every single game on Steam?
Every single game on Steam. Every single one. I own GTA 5. I own Portal. I own
Thank you. That was a very
Portal 2.
no. That was a very good list of the 2 or 3 games that you own on Steam. Yeah, I believe.
I own it.
I think that's it for our call-ins right now. I don't know. We're getting much about Rockstar.
Hold on, I'm beating this level.
Yeah, yeah. No, I already took it off the screen. I'm gonna be real with you. Thank you for joining us. I love Gabe and Dinko. But I believe
I love Gabe.
Yeah, we heard the first 300 times. Curious callers. I mean, so you were saying about Rockstar.
I believe we may have to censor the stream at a later point because there were bank details on that Candy Crush transfer.
Yes.
All right.
I would. Dinko, if you're still listening, I would really. I don't know how much I can advise you this, but please freeze that card right now. That you should, like I told you I was gonna stream it. Why would you show your bank information? That is unfortunate. I just hope there wasn't anyone trying to take advantage of you. But you have a note here on our little notes. We have about 60 FPS on PS5, right?
Yes. So I don't know if it's confirmed, but I believe I read somewhere that there is going to be a performance mode for GTA 6, which will allow it to run in 60 FPS. Now, I need you to think about this. We were on the topic of how the PS5 has been a very disappointing generation. I think the PS6, the whole PS6 generation, is going to be even worse. Because with the PS6, what the rumored thing is right now for the PS6 is that there's going to be the base model, right? That's the normal upgrade, which is already rumored to not be quite a substantial upgrade compared to previous generations. It's a pretty light jump. It will like run a couple games in 60 FPS that couldn't before. But it will have a sort of Series S SKU of the PS6, which is less power, but for a more affordable price. Now, if we really think about this, if every single PS6 game is going to be forced to support that SKU, what PS6 game is not going to be able to run on PS5?
Yeah.
Especially because if GTA 6 is being developed for multi-billion numbers, like this is the highest development costs for any video game we've ever seen in history. If a game that expensive is able to run on a PS5 at 60 FPS, I don't think there's going to be a single game in the next decade that won't be able to run on PS5.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, yeah, this is although we think it's going to be, I think you agree with me, it's going to be a crummy game. It's going to be the same gameplay we have seen for over a decade now. It's going to be a big leap in what we would call graphical and hardware capabilities, right? And software capabilities. And it's going to have a bunch of gigabytes for sure. It's going to be hard to run because of graphical fidelity, and not because of gameplay. And if the PS5 runs that, what is the point? Generally, what is the point? And if the only difference is that one runs at 60 and the other runs at 30, I mean, is that really so much of a difference for the average gamer? I mean, could we really not survive with that kind of high fidelity video game at 30 FPS?
To be fair, a lot of people, and myself included, I believe that the standard for FPS should be 60 frames, and that every game should be 60 frames, or at least have the option to be 60 frames. That is, I feel like that's the consensus, but I know you don't. I know you don't agree with that. I know you had a little argument for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that I didn't need the 60 FPS, but
no, yeah, I don't think it's the most important thing. I think the game being fun and working well is way more important than the.
That's fair.
And not just that, I just think it's, unless it's a shooter, like an online shooter where it actually does influence the gameplay, I don't think it really matters that much. But I think, I don't know if any of my monitors are 60 FPS, so maybe that might be That might be why.
They should be.
They should be probably, but I really don't. I really can't tell the difference that much, which is worrying. I mean, I watch more movies than I play games. You know that. So I'm used to 24 and 25 FPS is my sort of bar. I'm not even. I haven't even gone up to the 30. So that's sort of how it goes. But
now,
yeah, I agree.
Before we close off my section of the show, we have on the topic of gameplay. As a final point, and just to, I sort of avoided talking about it, and this is gonna get me the most heat, and I've said some very interesting things, but I don't think GTA is that good of a series. I think it has done nothing substantially new since GTA 3 on the PS2, and a lot of the stuff that people are excited to do in the GTA 6 is stuff that people were excited to do in video games on the PS1. These are I've seen so much dick sucking for Rockstar lately. And it's like, oh, I can't wait to run over pedestrians. I can't wait to drive a helicopter. I can't wait to do fucking basic things in a video game. These aren't new. These aren't novel. No. These are things that people were excited to do in the PS1. We've been there. We've done that. And I've not seen... Well, to be fair, they haven't shown any gameplay for GTA 6. And the graphics right now, they've shown screenshots. They look worse than the trailers. So I imagine when they actually show gameplay in motion, it's going to look even worse. So there are going to be... Well, I sincerely hope that the people who pre-order GTA 6 and play it on day one are disappointed, because it is an industry plant series that I do not see the appeal of.
Yeah, I concur for several reasons. One, because obviously gameplay, and obviously people say, but there's no, it's gonna be great. How could you say that? Do you remember Red Dead Redemption 2? Great story, but half of the enjoyment of that game is me going, I'm a cowboy. I love being a cowboy, and that's it, because
it is sort of the lopsided play. And to be fair, I played Red Dead Redemption 2, and I found the world to be pretty interesting to engage with. But then I played San Andreas, and I'm looking at the gameplay for like GTA 5, GTA 4, and it's just not as interesting as Red Dead Redemption 2. Not nearly as interesting to interact with and engage with on the same level.
Yeah, because you're not a cowboy, and being a cowboy, there's like half the work. It's like the Kinect Star Wars game. I remember watching like a review for it from a certain individual who then went on to be a problematic figure. But I remember him going like, this game's ass because it's for the Kinect, but you're like a Jedi and you're pretending to have a lightsaber, and that's really half the fun. And that makes it fun. And people, like, that game got reviewed well at the time. And that's what Red Dead Redemption 2 is. That's not what GTA 6 is going to be, because I don't think anyone in their lives is dreaming, I wish I could be a poor resident in Florida. I don't think anyone is out there wishing this life upon themselves. It looks harrowing.
All right. That unless you have any final thoughts, I believe we can wrap up this section. Although, as a sort of a side note, I've just witnessed people go insane because there was no Ace Attorney at Capcom Spotlight. I don't know what people were expecting. Get real, man.
Yeah, that's about the way we can do that. I will tell you now. We're gonna go for a short ad break, but join me after, and Fricka, obviously, for my part, which is going to be on streaming services, and are they too expensive, are they too impractical, all that stuff that you've heard before. Hey, are you crippled? Take this medicine. Side effects may include coughing, coughing blood, coughing mucus, itchiness, lupus, headaches, a wider anus, a tighter anus, pneumonia, a fear of heights, seasons 11 and 12 of The Simpsons, cholera, blindness, bacteria, infection, illness, disabilities, curiosity, love, happiness, joy, a New York Times subscription, a Cerberus penis, 2 years less in purgatory, testicular torsion, anti-Semitic beliefs, vaguely pro-Israeli statements such as but they suffered so much. Being named Fido, extra feet, the sum of these parts, jolts of lightning, being struck by lightning in the middle of the movie, yelling relevance at every question, being a bit gay, but not too much, having an affair with Marilyn Monroe, but she has lupus, and being sanguine. This medicine, made for and by the crippled.
Every year, millions of dogs get abandoned by their owners and left with no home, left starving and hungry on the streets. You can help put an end to this travesty today by donating $1 to get a dog euthanized. Kill a dog today. Put an end to their suffering. We can end the world dog homelessness crisis by killing all dogs. Every single one has to go. Did you know about bestiality? Those mutts are no good. So euthanize a dog today for only $1 at 1-800-DOG-EUTHANASIA. We can do it together.
Welcome back, everyone, to the show. As you know, I am Pina, and today I'm going to be talking about this topic that you can see on screen. Was the time before streaming better? When talking about this, problem that we have with streaming services, it is easy to hate and to point out the flaws of the systems. Journalists, creators, and audiences alike are always quick to point the finger and to blame. It's human condition. We love to complain. I mean, that's half of what we do in this show, and that's half the entertainment of it. But before I move on to doing exactly that, I want to present you with my personal experience. After all, what people say and how they say it can be interpreted in a widely different manner if we know some facts about who is telling them. That said, the anecdote is this. My absolute most hated film, the one I cannot watch and could not watch as a child, was Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. I absolutely hate that movie. Have you ever watched that movie, Fricka?
I think I'll need a bit of it.
All right.
But it's an interesting movie of the series.
Yeah, it's the worst one, if you ask me. I've heard people say it's a good film, though. But I get no enjoyment out of it whatsoever. This is because during summer holidays in a house with my extended family, this was the sole Harry Potter DVD that we had. And so my cousins, being girl tweens in the 2000s and 2010s, would at some point want to watch a Harry Potter film. And so every year, once or twice a month, there we had to watch Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix again. Now, I know this is not sounding related to streaming services, but please, bear with me. The same thing happened with my mother wanting to watch Devil Wears Prada, which you might imagine, to me, the 9-year-old boy who wanted to watch the Pokemon movie, the one with Deoxys, my favorite one, was an incredible disappointment. When, at the age of 11, with that house being gone from my life, along with those DVDs and movie sessions, my mother subscribed to Netflix, a huge playground opened up to me, and I never had to watch these movies again. God bless. The first ever shows I watched were relics that didn't air on the channels I used to watch. And I stayed up until 4 a.m. on school nights watching Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which happened to be animes because I guess I was interested in that at the time. But two of these are still, my favorite shows of all time, namely Trigun and Full Metal Alchemist. Two of my favorite shows for sure, alongside The Wire, but that's been recently. And all of them, my first introductions to animation as a more serious, grounded piece of media. I may have lost the communal living room space, where sometimes movies were good, but a lot of times they were boring. But I gained what felt like this infinite library of good films. My point is to say that obviously both of these have advantages and disadvantages, good, bad, and memories associated with them in this case of the story. But it is also to remind you, the viewer, and you, Fricka, because I believe maybe you are not so susceptible to this opinion, but I believe that although we like to sometimes pretend we want to go back to how it was before, we hear that a lot nowadays, that when the internet started to become big, it was described as the democratization of information, and that we nowadays have easy access to all these things, and that sometimes we forget. This all serves to clarify that I actually think streaming is a net positive, and not the evil devil that it has been referred to lately. That said, it does have some absolutely devilish prices. I ask that you imagine with me right now, so we can understand why the prices are devilish, that you are, close your eyes and imagine it, that you're a film and TV journalist that works for an outlet that you yourself run. Sort of like us, right? You have to be constantly up to date with all the movies and TV shows to ever release and have a horrible compulsion to watch everything. I did the math, and if you are in America and have this awful disease, you would need to pay $875. $875, fricky, to get this at all running. I have the prices right here. If you want to check me, I checked this today, so it's up to date. As you can see, it is very expensive. This is yearly. This is the cheaper options. If you pay for a month, it's actually more expensive. It's a ridiculous notion that you would pay this amount of money for anything. And all of this without considering what it's like to be a sports fan, because that airs on TV too. For your consideration,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, for your consideration, the MLB's baseball app, MLB TV, is $120 per year, with some of the most important games being exclusive to Apple TV. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I remember earlier this year, I wanted to watch the Mets and Yankees game, and it was on Apple TV, so I had to, go around it, which we all do. And I didn't put it here because I think it's very impossible. But what about football? Good old European football, not American. Because we're talking in dollars, I feel like I had to clarify there. What about football? It's not centralized in any streaming service. I believe it's spread out through leagues, teams, a bunch of stuff, and it's really hard to get all the games. Hockey, snooker, pool, just all these sports things, if you want to watch them, they're not centralized anymore, where they used to be on cable. But it's known in the media industry that price is usually not the issue with these services. Tell me, if you had a service, for example, $500 a year that would have all these things plus sports, that sounds pretty fair, right? And that sounds, I think I would pay that. I think I would generally pay that, provided I have a job and I can afford it. The problem here is, how many streaming services do you count there on the screen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all with different emails, passwords, places they're available. Laptop, or maybe your television, your smart TV, which usually nowadays is how it works, doesn't have it. You're paying almost $900 worth of hard-earned cash to watch all this separately. It's a mess. And the problem is, when for free, you have plenty of options online that put all the content you need into one easy-to-use site. Why would you pay this money? Why would you, frickin'?
Well, to easily summarize my opinion on streaming services, we asked the simple question, because I'm one of the perfect examples of this. I used to be big into physical media of movies and shows, and I would get so many DVDs, just an unbelievable amount, and I still have them. And now the question is, can you watch the Scooby-Doo Laugh Olympics on any streaming service? No, you cannot.
No.
You can only watch it through the DVD.
Not the Laugh Olympics. Could you watch it, though, on a site? You know what I mean by this. On a site that you could go on Google and type something along the lines of Scooby-Doo Laugh Olympics watch free online.
Yes, and that is why, with all these subscriptions, it has become, basically, it's very obvious. Piracy sites are more convenient than official streaming sites in many scenarios, and that is a shame. I'm not here to say that yes, piracy sites become more convenient, yes, become more accessible. No, because I think all of us feel like we want these streaming services to improve, and we want them to be more affordable and easy to use without confusion and paying exorbitant prices.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, let's see some details here on some of this services that are here. So Netflix, $107 a year for one user. Which is a ridiculous notion. $107 a year for one person to be able to use it is a bit, because I went with the cheapest options here. HBO Max, 109 years. You have ads before the episodes. That's right. You have 30-second unskippable ads before you start an episode nowadays.
Lovely.
Which is, why are you paying a streaming service? And you go look at piracy. What's the downturn? I mean, if you're stupid, you'll get a virus, but you got to be really stupid nowadays to get a virus like that. And you got to not, follow the precautions. Sometimes the site isn't up. It buffers a little sometimes. But for 3 or 4 seconds of buffering, am I really going to pay all that money? One solution that I actually quite like, for movies at least, is YouTube allows you to buy and rent movies on their site. Very specific movies. So they're not telling you to buy a subscription. Well, they are with YouTube. What's it called? It used to be YouTube Red, right? But that's not a thing anymore.
YouTube Premium.
YouTube Premium. And instead of that, it's like, oh yeah, you can buy movies, and that's great. I like that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, there's a movie on YouTube that I can rent for $2. I'll watch it once. That's doable. That's a good service, I feel like. And Amazon does that too, but Amazon service sucks, and their subtitling sucks. I tried to watch an Italian movie once, and the subtitling was genuinely, I think they might have went to that room and that hypothetical thing with the monkeys typing in the typewriters, and that's how they got the subtitle. Like, they did one try, In the scenario, it's like eventually they'll write Shakespeare. No, this was the first try. That's what they put on that movie. And it's all services with a bunch of faults, and they're so expensive, and there's so many of them. And what even is the solution for this? Because it's so many companies that are all competing with each other. And we know this is not a new problem, because, we were just talking about Valve in your episode, in your part of the episode, and famously, Gabe Newell, he revolutionized the market by understanding piracy is not stopped with takedowns. It is stopped by making paying more convenient. Whoever is the most convenient is the one that wins. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, and I only own, out of this long list, I only own 2 of these streaming services, Netflix and Amazon Prime. That's it. And Amazon Prime, it's half to get the streaming service and half to get the Amazon, delivery deals. That's a big part of it. If it wasn't for those delivery deals, I don't think I'd be subscribed to Amazon Prime. It would just be Netflix.
Yeah, and especially there's an important thing to point out, which is, frickin' you're British. Which completely changes this paradigm. These prices are mostly the same in the UK. And in the UK, for, I believe, £150 a year, and nobody pays it even, you get the BBC, Channel 4, you get Channel 5, I believe. You do get Channel 5. In ITV, all their streaming services, plus their live feed, and with the BBC's cases, I believe Premier League is on the BBC and all those channels. And you get that you can pay the £150, but I believe most people don't even pay it, because you can access it for free. And if your IP is British, they go, "Did you pay your license?" And you go, "Yeah," and they don't check. So it's not even. So, and suddenly all these things are not even really. There's content on HBO especially that is literally on Channel 4. In the UK. Smiling Friends, you can watch that through Channel 4, and most of Adult Swim content. It is just a bizarre thing. It is a bizarre thing that these companies keep doing these prices. And the other thing is, as you know, I live in London right now. Not right now, but I live in London throughout the year. And I see those Sky billboards, and that sounds like the best deal ever, where it's like you get TV, cable, you get Sky Plus, you get, I believe, Netflix, HBO, and Disney for £90. And that sounds like the best deal ever. Plus, you get internet. The only thing is, this is connected to how good your internet is. And I don't know how good Sky's internet is. But it's a great deal. Even if you have another internet provider, it is cheaper to get this second internet provider, dude. It is cheaper to get that and get these streaming services. It is a ridiculous thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, but that said, I just don't think physical media is ever going to be brought back, because physical media sort of suffers from the same problem. Wouldn't you agree? Prices wise.
Yeah, I have bought a couple pieces of physical media, but it feels like not the same as it was when I was a child, when I'd be collecting DVDs, even smaller things, just to, you know, accumulate, just to get a bunch of things to. It's like, oh, I want to watch this film, let me buy the DVD. It's not like that anymore. It's the closest alternative to that for me is buying some movies on Amazon Prime, which I've done before. I've bought the Batman, I've bought the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but this isn't owning. They make it pretty clear that if they take it down, you're going to lose access, even though you spent the money to purchase it.
Yeah,
and
let me just ask you a question. I mean, if you go right now on Amazon or anywhere else and look at, for example, let me think of a movie here. If you want a Ratatouille DVD, not a Ratatouille because that's not a modern movie, but imagine Two Prosecutors, the movie I reviewed last episode last week. It gets a DVD release. I go to buy it. It's going to be $8, $8 or $9 for the DVD with the movie and nothing else. No extras, no anything, barely a menu as far as I'm concerned. And I need to have a DVD player, and it's $8 for physical media. It at some point, and for one movie, it's one movie. For shows, you bought the Curb Your Enthusiasm DVD set recently, right? That's season 1 and 2, right?
No, I got seasons 1 to 8.
And how much did that cost you?
I can't say off the top of my head, but when it comes to buying physical media recently, I only really get it if it's a good deal, and I like to get the entire. I only really do it with shows now, where I try to get the whole series of a show all at once. Like I did it with Curb Your Enthusiasm, I did it with Better Call Saul, and I did it with The Wire. And I'm only doing it with things that I know are some of my favorite shows of all time that I've already watched a decent bit of. And it's not quite a thing where I'll buy a DVD of something I've never watched before. I'll never do that, because with streaming services, the whole convenience of it is you're able to try new shows, you're able to try new movies, without having to pay like an added cost to try those things out. There's not much risk involved. So when it comes to actually purchasing and owning things, it's only quite something appealing towards people that already know they like something and want to, have that for later if it gets removed from streaming services.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not even just that. I mean, when you're buying DVDs for a thing you like, you're buying it because you like it, and you want to have it on the wall, and there's something sort of special about that, right? About having it physically, because DVDs corrode too, and it doesn't last forever either. But it's not just that. I mean, you mentioned an interesting point. It's about convenience. I mean, in the early 2000s, before Netflix really became cemented as this big thing, there was piracy, and the movie and TV industry was rampant because, I mean, you could either buy an expensive DVD, or you could catch it on time on your television, or you could, damn it to hell, you could record it on TiVo or whatever. Who's doing that right now, right? Recording on your VCR. And that just doesn't work anymore because you had piracy that was rampant. And piracy were streaming services before streaming services, except you didn't have to pay for anything. And that's always what it's been. And Netflix came along, and it gave an alternate version of that, where you could pay for doing what the pirates were doing, and suddenly piracy was unheard of for years. And now all these companies, not realizing this, decided, oh, Netflix making about $1 trillion gajillion, we should get on this. Removed all their shows from Netflix, all their movies from Netflix, and somehow Netflix still has one hell of a catalog. I would say one of the better catalogs aside from maybe HBO Max, and Disney Plus is good, but Disney Plus as a service functions horribly. But and the other ones, I mean, look at that. Look at that list. MGM Plus. Who's buying this? Anyway, and they didn't realize that this is sort of what rid people of piracy. And now piracy, from what I've read online, is just absolutely back. I mean, 2 years ago, I believe 2024 was the highest drop in subscriptions to streaming services ever recorded. It was something like 7% of people. It was
Was that 2022?
Was it 2022? It might have been. I might have my dates confused here, but I thought it was 2024 for some reason.
2024. Okay, because I remember something. It was in 2022. Well, it sort of dawned on me how the convenience of Netflix, especially in specific, it's very questionable. It's very weird, and I think one of the biggest issues, other than how it functions now, which I'd like to talk about later, but one of the things I noticed was I was traveling and I was going on holiday, and I'm already familiar with the British catalog of movies. And then I move abroad for like a week or two, and then I go on Netflix and I'm seeing the newest Spider-Man movie that released less than a year ago, and all of these big movies, and I'm in some random country in Eastern Europe, and I'm able to watch all of this. Why? Why is there such a massive disparity in regional differences? It makes it impossible to track what is being added and what is being removed, because it feels like there are 9 million different corporations at work at a time, adding and removing movies from the different regions. I don't know how it's all operating all at once.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. I hadn't thought about that, but the regional differences are very bizarre. And people say get a VPN, but I feel like they always track the VPN somehow. And also watching with a VPN.
Oh, how to solve the subscription? Go to add another subscription service on top of it to make your subscription service work.
Hey, at least a VPN subscription is a good subscription to have. It does more than that, but yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is good.
But I mean, it's just a bizarre. What did you say that you? By the way, to clarify, call-ins are open to any member of the audience that might want to join. What you said you wanted to talk about something later, but talk about it right now.
Yes. This is a perfect time to have this sort of discussion of this streaming service issue, because literally earlier today, I went on Netflix for the first time, because it's usually my mother that uses Netflix most of the time. But I went on Netflix earlier today, and for a very long time, there were 2 different profiles on the Netflix account. One for my mother and one for me. This is a basic feature for any subscription service, any streaming service. This is basic stuff. But when I logged on today and tried to go on my profile, it demanded me, not as an option, not as anything optional, mandatory, you have to add your own unique email to that profile. The profile isn't just attached to that account anymore. It's treated as a different account. And
I did not know that. I didn't. I did not know that.
It is insane, and I have a sort of like a chill in the back of my spine that eventually down the road, probably not even down the road, like in a month or two, we're gonna get an email saying, "Sorry, this other profile on the account, because it's signed up to a different email and it's clearly a different person, has to pay a separate subscription from the main subscription." Why? Why is that something? Why? Because one of the big appeals of streaming services for a while was you can share your password, or you can just bring the family in and watch Netflix as a family, either together or separately. And that was the biggest appeal, one of the biggest points of appeal of it. That's not there anymore. They've restricted the extent of like login. Like if you log in from like a different IP, you can only do that a limited amount of time before you're locked out of the account. And now they're making the different profiles separate, where you can't even share it with people in the same household, the same IP. What are we doing, man?
That is absolute bollocks. I have not had Netflix for a couple of months now. I believe we're in this house. We're living off of HBO Max and Apple TV for some reason. I think there's like some cop show there or something that my mom likes, but it's a bit ridiculous. I did not know about that. I don't think any other streaming service is doing that right now, but I mean that just defeats the whole point of what the streaming service is. It's a service. You log in, you use it. Netflix already tracks if there's more than one person using it. What is the point of having two different separate accounts? It's a bit silly, admittedly. It is a very, very silly. It is absolutely useless. And as you say, it does sort of feel like they're preparing to to a bit of entrapment there. But I mean, it's just the state of things is really bad with that. And the other thing is, I mean, these movies. This is where, for a while, big movie releases went directly to streaming. I don't know if you remember this. I mean, I believe 2 of the big Pixar or 3 Pixar movies of the latest years did not even go to the cinemas exclusively. They went directly to Disney Plus. This was Luca. Is that what it was called? Luca, the film? It was.
I believe that went in theaters.
It went in theaters, but it also went directly to Disney Plus at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah.
And Soul too, which is a very good movie if you watch it in the theaters. Yes. And there was the one before that I don't even. The Elemental. What is it called?
Elementals. Yeah.
Elementals, which did happen. Yep, that did happen. But the point here is, I mean. These are big releases, and it's like, yeah, of course, some people would pay this amount of money to get big releases at home without having to go, but it's just a bit ridiculous. It's like there's certain releases that television. I mean, having a cable subscription is useless because nothing airs live that is worth watching. Well, that's not true, but I'm exaggerating here. I mean, if you like contest shows and actual like televisual live shows, you'll get stuff like that. But for dramas like HBO and whatnot, what is the point of getting that sort of television? And I don't believe television is dying in that way. I mean, I think what we're doing here right now is television, so it's alive and well, I would say. But it's just all a bit of a shame, and I don't know if you agree with that. That it's all just a bit of a shame how it's going.
We touched on this on a previous episode, but it does really feel like these streaming services, like you said before, that TV isn't dying. Streaming services is sort of a form of adaptation that television has taken on, and it is a way to sort of propel funding for projects that usually wouldn't get those. And in some cases, it's a benefit. And in some cases, it is a catastrophic negative to many shows that get cancelled after one season and then you don't see anything more of it. There are some happy examples. Like in the case of Disney Plus, there are a lot of streaming shows that go directly to it. Such as now with the new Daredevil show and Wonder Man. And especially in the case of Wonder Man, I think you probably haven't heard of Wonder Man. It's a very small scale sort of Marvel show that is completely removed from the rest of the world building of the Marvel world, and it's sort of just a small focus on a couple of characters that is fun sort of premise, fun characters, fun plot. It doesn't have really many implications, and I think, despite how flawed Disney Plus is right now and how the streaming service landscape is, if it weren't for streaming services existing, I don't think something like Wonder Man would exist. I don't think many smaller shows like it would exist.
No, because you don't have that. We like to talk about this a lot, Fruitbat and I. You've heard us talk about this. The syndication, which is a thing that ruled television shows in the 70s and 80s and after that. And to those who aren't aware, syndication is when a show reaches a point in length that it can have reruns, and that's where the real money is at. And so shows for a while really tried to get to 24 episodes, which I believe is the syndication point, or 21 episodes, I forget now, to be syndicated and be rerun and make a lot of money, which is a thing that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, when was the last time you saw a show that had a season with 20 episodes? That just doesn't happen anymore. just not really a thing. Sort of a lost art. But yeah, I agree with you. Streaming is an evolution of television. I mean, the best memory I have with a streaming service, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, was John Mulaney's Everybody's Live in LA.
Right.
Everybody's Live, not even in LA, which was one of the first Netflix shows that did a live show. And at this point, Netflix is just a TV channel. The problem is, instead of having a television where you're paying, I think, like $200 for yearly for all these channels, we're paying $100 for one channel a year. It's a bit ridiculous, I think. That's, I think, what the problem is or you still have the same sort of amount of content, and it's great content. And I think that John Mulaney show was genius. It was absolutely incredible. I really liked it, both of them. The first one and the second one we watched together. And yeah, I think live TV is also coming to these streaming services. Sports are coming to some of them. Less sought out sports, like I said before, 1 or 2 games on Apple TV and such. HBO Max is always trying to get me to watch gymnastics nowadays. I don't know why, but I guess that's sort of what they do in there. I don't know, and it's all sort of, there's not really a solution, because what is the solution to this? On one hand, I don't want a monopoly by any of these companies. On the other hand, if there was one streaming service that had everything, would be great. Or at least they get so competitive that everyone starts dropping prices. But I don't think that's going to happen for one simple fact. Netflix has an iron fist. It has 300, I believe, million subscribers worldwide, far, far above what anyone has. And countries like ours, Portugal and England, have alternatives, free alternatives. You have BBC, as I said, and all the other public broadcast channels, and here we have RTP, which is also, you can watch most things for free without a TV license even. But I mean, it's, what can you do about it? What can you do? Denko, if you want to talk about it, you can get on the call. Call-ins have been open. I clarified that. I don't know if you want to talk about it still. You're saying there he is. If you want.
Before we drag in the caller, as a final note. I do wonder if streaming services are eventually, the next evolution is going to be moving in the direction of the TV license, because I believe that the TV license in its current state right now is a streaming service, but it isn't treated like a streaming service. It's treated like a tax. It's built on the assumption that you use TV and that you utilize BBC and these channels. They don't check. They assume that you do, and if you don't pay that TV license, you'll have the TV license guy knocking on your door. You'll be sent letters to you, even if you don't use it. So, I do wonder if it's going to be forced in a way where it isn't just a subscription anymore. It's like a tax that you have to pay. But that's sort of a dystopic reality that we are not quite reaching yet.
I think that's a bit of a reach, frankly, but it could happen. It could happen, but I don't know that it's going to happen. You can bring in the caller now. And yes, to the member of the audience who wants to join, you can join us too.
All right, welcome in, Dinko.
Yo, what's up?
3 times the charm, eh?
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Now, what is it that you said you could talk about this? Now, what's your opinion on all of this? You've been hearing, I think.
I pay my own Amazon Prime Video.
Do you enjoy that subscription?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Do you? Let me ask you a question, because with Amazon Prime, there's actually it's a bit more nuanced with that, because it's. You get it with Amazon Prime, which gives you cheaper deliveries. Do you order a lot of stuff online? Did you get it because of the cheaper deliveries, or did you get it to watch a show you wanted?
I mean, 2 birds with 1 stone. Isn't that how they say it?
Yeah, that is how they say it. But my point is, you're not getting a streaming service because it has good content, and because it has stuff that is worthwhile. You're getting it because because you're getting a deal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you wouldn't ever get a streaming service because of its content that is in it, right?
Sorry, what was the question?
You would never get a streaming service because of the content alone.
No, no, I don't think that would be the case. No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and do you pirate movies or go on like illicit websites where
Oh,
things are
all the time. Pirate Bay is my jam.
Pirate Bay and the big 2.6? Who is you? Isn't that fraught with like viruses and stuff? I thought that was a relic
you
of the
can't get
past.
the yin. You can't get the yin without the yang, you know.
You can definitely. There's definitely safer sites than that. And tell me,
You take the cock, you take the balls, you know.
do we agree with that? Do we agree? You take the cock, you take the ball. You take the cock, you take the balls. Is that something you have experience in?
Isn't that how they say it?
No, I don't think anyone says this.
Yeah, it must be a cultural thing.
Cultural thing, yeah. I guess it could be. All I'm saying is, as you see, I mean, and let me ask you a question so we can get an opinion from someone who isn't me and Fricka. If you had all these streaming services, all content in the world, in one streaming service, what is the minimum amount of money you would pay per year to get it, for example?
At least like a couple bucks.
No, I understand. This was.
You mean maximum? You mean like the maximum you might pay?
Yeah, the maximum.
Oh, the maximum?
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
A lot of thinking from you, all right?
Because
yeah.
I would say something like 300 to 400 is fair for all content in the world.
Per year?
I wouldn't pay it.
No,
Per year?
Yeah, per year.
What are we calling like all the content?
All the content, everything you could like. You think of a movie. You think of a movie from the 40s or the 30s. You think of anything, any show ever, and it's on there. I would pay that amount of money.
there's always going to be like some indie Vietnamese movie from the 1890s that someone is going to want to watch.
I don't know.
And they're gonna complain. Oh, my Vietnamese Ho Chi Minh 1890.
That just does not add up.
This is not the same era. This is not the same era.
Yeah, he was not alive during the. Maybe he was alive, but he was like a fetus or something. He was a child. Ho Chi Minh in the 1890s. That guy was the leader of Vietnam during the war. That's the 70s. He was already old.
Maybe you want to watch Ho Chi Minh's birth. I don't know.
What do you think? The Lumiere brothers went to Vietnam in the 1890s with one of the first video cameras on Earth and filmed Ho Chi Minh. So this Vietnamese like guy that they don't know anything about being birthed.
Maybe I want to watch it. Is that going to be on the streaming service?
I don't think that's going to be on the streaming service. I don't think it's because.
Then I don't want to pay it. I don't want to pay it.
Yeah, but that's because it doesn't exist. It's not because of anything else.
You have your things. I have my things.
Right, okay, so do you want it to be like a fictionalized version, or like the real thing?
Well, I want the real thing.
You want the real thing? Yeah, I just don't think you're getting that. Do you have anything else to add, Denko?
Well, I still have that point. Like, what are we calling all content?
Oh, I've just told you. I mean, you right now. You told me something that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, Denko.
Okay.
It's not gonna.
Then what about something that
movie that exists
from the 1890s? A Vietnamese movie from the 1890s that is not gonna be on the platform. Is it gonna be on the platform?
It's gonna be on the platform. If it exists, if it exists, it's on the platform.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy it.
You'll buy it for how much? You didn't say the price. Like maximum you want to pay for this.
At least 2/3 of what that price you showed on screen of all the streaming services.
At least 2/3
so around
of
around like 500, 600.
I'm not a math Teacher, I can do
Yeah,
that.
no, but
I
that
can
sounds.
do that
See,
equation.
but I agree with that. That sounds fair to me, and I think most people would pay that just for the pure convenience of it, because that's what sells. It's convenience. Now, Dinko, we're going to remove you from the call, not because you were a bad caller. That was actually a very nice conversation, unlike the other two, which were okay. What was that? Weren't you calling us sissies earlier? Whatever. We're going to remove you just because we have another caller on the wait here, and if you could please bring him in.
Welcome into the call, Sheepish Baton 02.
Sheepish Baton 02, welcome to the call.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Sheepish.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, we can hear you. I'm sure everyone's very excited.
So what's this about right now? I just popped in. I saw time before streaming. What are we talking about right now, huh?
Were you not listening to what we were saying?
No, because I kind of lost track.
All right. So streaming services. Your opinion on streaming services? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Would you pay $1 million for something? I don't know. What? Go at it.
I think the fact that streaming services are now making me pay, and I still have to watch ads, is pissing me off more than anything. I was watching The Sopranos season 2 earlier, on HBO Max as usual.
What episode?
It's the one right after the Happy Wanderer. I think episode 7.
Okay, that's a good episode. I would say that about any Sopranos episode. That would have been my reply to any of what it was. But yeah.
So, and I'm watching, and I have a fucking HBO Max movie. 5 ads per what? Like every 10 minutes or something?
Yeah.
And sometimes, for some reason, after every ad, it takes me back 10 minutes in time, and I have to rewatch that whole part. And it pisses me off so bad because I'm here. I was watching The Happy Wanderer yesterday. I watched the card game. I watched Silvio say he likes cheese at his feet. The ad break comes on. The ad ends. I'm at the very start again. I'm watching Davey try and convince Tony that he wants to get into the game. I'm like, what the fuck? Did this not just happen? I look at the bar. I went back in time, and I'm getting so pissed off.
And what would you do about this? I mean, what do you think the solution is? What can you do about this?
I don't know. I think the only option here is to fucking go on YouTube and stitch together all the clips at this point, because there's no good streaming sites.
Why don't you pirate though? Are you not able to pirate for some reason?
I could pirate, but then all the pop-ups and shit, and then I risk
Are you fucking stupid? Have you ever heard of an ad block?
Of an ad blocker?
No, he's on Chromebook.
Right.
He's on Chromebook. He can't use it.
Yeah, I can.
From Chrome.
Oh, you
They
can't.
removed it from Chrome.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. Here's a little trick for everyone. You go on your phone if you're willing to watch this sort of thing on your phone. Are you Sheepish Batano 2? Are you listening to me right now?
I am.
You go on your
I am
phone
listening
and
to
you
you right
install this little app called name of Firefox. It's a great app. And you can install
What's the problem with Firefox?
What is the issue with Firefox? You can install ad blocks.
I don't like its logo.
I'm pretty sure it comes default with Firefox.
No, you gotta go.
No.
You gotta go and put in your typing thing. You gotta put uBlock and then put add on.
Dude, I'm looking at my ad block. 132 ads blocked on Twitch. It's ridiculous. It's on so many sites.
Yeah, but Sheepish Batano too. I guess you are a victim of circumstance, perhaps because of your ethnical situation, since you're a Mexican in the United States.
What are you trying to bring up here? My ethnical situation?
I'm just saying, Mexicans in the United States have it worse. They just have it worse than white people. So perhaps this is something related to it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because you're poor or something. I don't know. I'm just saying the information I have beforehand. And maybe this is a problem unique to you because you can't pirate, apparently. And now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, apparently you can't pirate because you don't have a computer. You have a Chromebook, which is a cheaper option. Somehow, these streaming services have fucked the poor over even worse than I thought it could be. Because ads on a streaming service that you're paying is a ridiculous, absolute notion. Would you buy?
Wait, you don't have ads on your side when you watch HBO Max?
No,
Because he's an ad blocker.
Yeah, I have an ad
Oh,
block.
I see.
Yeah, Yeah, no, but when I watch it on the television, Shippers, I get like a 30-second ad before I start the episode. It's horrible.
Dude, it's. And then
Wait, do you get ads in the middle of the episode, Sheepish?
yeah,
What?
That is stupid.
it's like I'm fucking watching cable again, getting an ad break for fucking Yahoo or whatever.
Except on cable, when you're back from the ad, you're you're gonna continue on where you were. Oh, and what about this thing? Sorry, they do this thing now on our cable box at least, where you know how you can go back in time to watch a program that has aired before.
Yeah.
On our TV box, on our cable subscription, if you do that, you have to sit through 5 minutes of ads before being able to watch the program on cable, because you can skip over the ads. Like it is so bad. It is so absolutely awful. Sheepish, let me ask you another question. You live in the United States. You seem pretty. Oh my lord!
He's also a dying child. He's tuberculosis.
I mean, we're capturing the Dickensian aspect right here. That's a great reference for anyone that gets it. Sheepish, you live in the United States.
Yeah.
And you're Mexican, and you seem to be suffering. Would you take a page out of Luigi Mangione and shoot the CEO of HBO?
What?
If you saw him on the streets? I'm just gauging what the amount of hate here is. In a hypothetical, just in a hypothetical sense, would you, like, in a game? Would you do it in a game? It's not actually in a game. I just have to say that so we don't get shut down. But in a game,
inside a game, such as Counter-Strike 2, possibly that opportunity would be taken advantage of. However, let's say outside of a game, not real life, just outside of a game, I think I would bear more hatred towards the CEO of Netflix.
Why? Why is that?
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Every single time I go on Netflix, I look up what I want. I look up something I think is on there. It autofills. You know what I'm talking about. It autofills right there on the left. I click on it and it's not on there. Why do they do this?
I know what he's talking about. Yeah, that does happen a lot on Netflix. That happens a lot. But that feels like not as bad as.
No. Because I'm pretty sure.
Are you implying that out of game you would end them over that?
I'm pretty sure Netflix also is doing ads while you're watching, same as HBO Max.
Yes. It depends on what subscription.
It depends on your plan. Yes,
they do. I didn't know about that. I didn't know they did that.
It depends on the tier. There's a cheaper tier that has ads.
That sucks.
it all sucks.
Shivish,
I wish I had my cable. What?
Tell me your 3 favorite shows that you watch on a streaming service.
Let me think. Breaking Bad, Sopranos, Avatar: Last Airbender. That's it.
It's pretty good shows. Okay, thank you. I think that's about what we're gonna do for this episode. This was supposed to be a half an hour episode. I disconnected you. Sorry, Sheepish. I didn't know you wanted to talk. And it's gone over to almost 15 minutes, so I think this is a good point to end it. Freke, do you have anything else to say?
No, not really.
Nothing to do. Oh my god, what are you doing? Oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Why are you doing this? Oh my god, that was brutal.
I died instantly. Oh no.
Oh, what do you mean you died instantly?
No.
How can you die? How can you
I'm
die?
dead. I don't
Oh
know
my
where
god!
I
Oh my
put
god!
the
Oh my
camera.
god!
I
Oh my god! This
don't
is.
know where
What do you mean you don't know where you put the camera, dude?
where is it?
Where
is it?
Why are you doing
Where
this,
is
Rika?
it?
Why are you doing? Why are
I'll
you doing
find
this?
you.
Why are
I'll
you
find
doing
you.
this? Why are you
I'll
doing
find
this? Why are you doing this? No.
Where are you?
What happened? Why did you become evil?
I found you.
Oh my
I
god!
found you, motherfucker. Oh no. Where are you?
What is
You don't wanna fuck with me. You don't wanna fuck with me. You don't wanna fuck with me.
Dude.
You don't fuck with me.
dude?
You don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with me.